Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge to be auspicious about recovering control of Forrester Creations. Meanwhile, what's Finn's coming move now that the verity about Luna's father is out? Carter to be standing establishment in the preemption. Still, suckers know that the weight of the guilt is getting to Carter. It doesn't help that Carter opened up about wanting to give the company back to Hope. Carter indeed suggested apologizing to the Forrester family. Hope wasn't okay with bowing back down to the Forrester family. At the same time, Hope wasn't allowing about Carter at all or the effect this is having on him. Hope just wants to save the upper hand she presently has over Steffi. Hope has watched Carter share close moments with Daphne but hasn't said anything. It seems that rather than being jealous, perhaps Hope really doesn't care. Hope might watch further about having Steffi beneath her than anything differently, indeed her own fashion line. Despite Hope's current state, anticipate her to face a downfall soon enough. Ridge will be full of sanguinity for a change. Since the preemption, Ridge doesn't know what to do. Justin is supposedly still looking into it. Still, Justin hasn't offered any results. Meanwhile, Ridge knows that Steffi is back in the office, and so is Zend. Ridge also knows that Steffi put Daphne in Forrester Creations to help get them back the company, although he's doubtful of what the plan involves. In any case, Ridge suddenly becomes really auspicious about getting the company back. Steffi knows the verity about Finn being Luna's father. While Steffi opens up to Taylor, Finn makes a bold move. This bold move is presumably trying to track down Luna so he can explain how he didn't know all these times. Finn formerly knows Luna is missing in captivity, so could that lead to him knocking on Bill's door? Maternity is a cherished plot twist on day. Numerous a daddy has been made, pitching times of deceived parenthood. Luna and Finn. This stunner has suckers up in arms, but others are assuming that there's yet another DNA shock in store for Finn and his woman. Steffi. Suckers will have to get on board, just like Steffi, with the fact that Luna came from Finn's loins after a one-nighter with Poppy. This means that Finn's mama and his kinsman's son have both tried to kill Steffi. How much bad news can one woman take? Steffi needs to get down from Finn's crazy family, and there may be a accessible out on the horizon. Still, the Penns made it a point of having Liam lately talk about Hayes being Finn's natural child, if you recall. Finn has been raising the boy, but if he's set up to be Liam's natural son, it would not be the first time on detergents that a man was duped. Having Liam be Hayes' pater would allow Steffi an escape from Finn with no snares. Right about now, she has to be wondering what in the world she did to earn having Sheila as a mama-in-law and Luna as a stepdaughter. Finn can't escape his DNA, and he hasn't tried to. He wanted to forge a bond with Sheila until Steffi put a stop to it. Grounded on his combos with Poppy, Finn wants to get to know Luna more. That will stun Steffi, who also has to be bothered about her kitty's safety. We know that Steffi will turn to Liam for support, and Liam has no way stopped loving the brassy brunette. But, you might ask, was a maternity test done on Hayes? Yes, one was. But it was mired in confusion, helped along by Thomas's friend, Vinny. Vinny apparently shifted the original test results, which he admitted on his deathbed. But that plot can be rewritten at the drop of a chapeau. Luna's full freedom want could be granted. Will Sheila Sharp's vaticination eventually come true? Poppy reflected on how Luna would presumably be behind bars for the rest of her life after the effects she did. Still, Sheila had a more auspicious response. You know I know. Look at me, Sheila said. It was Sheila's way of admitting that effects formerly looked bleak for her as well, but now she's a free woman with a fresh launch. It felt like dropping a huge hint about Luna ultimately getting the same outgrowth. Of course, Luna isn't technically behind bars presently since she's no longer at a captivity installation. Still, Luna remains locked up with an ankle examiner, so this house arrest situation isn't ideal. As Luna herself has refocused out, being stuck at a snug manse clearly beats life in a cold cell. Luna is thankful for everything Bill has done for her, but she still wishes she could have a life beyond the Spencer estate. This is still a captivity of feathers since Luna can't leave the property and hasn't had any relations other than Bill and Dario aka Remy since Bill pulled strings for her. That obviously limits the type of stories B&B can tell with Luna. It makes further sense to construct some adulatory explanation that gets Luna off the hook for her crimes. Luna's conviction could be capsized, grounded on a temporary insanity defense or some other legal loophole in the end. Still, they're going to do it no matter what. If the show needs Luna free for story-related purposes. Sheila wriggled out of trouble despite all the awful crimes she committed, so Luna could follow in her grandmother's steps and escape real justice, too. Since Sheila made that no comment and used herself as an illustration, there are good reasons to suppose Luna could be coming in line for true freedom and a clean slate. Of course, that doesn't mean everyone will support the idea of Luna roving around as a free woman. Steffi and plenitude of other characters are going to lash out if they get updates on any Luna freedom news. Hope laying it on thick, Brooke making a mistake, and Finn scarifying about his future. Brooke was at her wit's end, contending with Ridge to come home. Hopeless, she indeed offered to give up her CEO position to get him back, hoping to resolve the rift between them. Ridge, still, wasn't so fluently swayed. He reminded her of the fermentation girding Hope's conduct, the achievement, the treason, and the raising war between their children. He also couldn't overlook Brooke's treatment of Thomas. How could he attune with her when the veritably fabric of their family was in chaos? Hope's poor opinions and her unvarying fidelity to her son made it insolvable for Ridge to trust Brooke. Despite her repeated attempts to shift the discussion, Ridge was firm in his station. He demanded that Brooke concentrate on fixing effects with Hope before he'd indeed consider coming back. But when Brooke took a stage for her son, Ridge had had enough. He walked right out the door, leaving Brooke to face the harsh reality that her family was falling piecemeal. Meanwhile, Steffi was spending some quality time with Taylor, at the Forrester manse. While Steffi had hoped for a quiet evening with Finn, he texted to let her know he'd be staying late at the sanitarium. Though disappointed, Steffi understood the demanding life of a Croker's woman. The two women turned their attention to the ongoing drama with Hope and the Logans, lamenting how the family fermentation was consuming everyone's energy. Back at Forrester Creations, Zend and Daphne Rose couldn't help but dish about Ridge's mysterious presence in the office, assuming about his intentions. Daphne Rose snappily informed Steffi that Ridge was behind unrestricted doors with Brooke, egging Steffi and Taylor to bandy Ridge's commitment. In the end, they agreed he wouldn't fall for a Logan again. Far down, Finn scuffled with his own inner fermentation. Gaping at a picture of Luna, he marveled at his new secret as her father. But his studies were clouded by the stunner he was sitting on, a verity that he promised himself he'd reveal to his woman hereafter. In the main office, Hope was doing everything she could to manipulate Carter into siding with her. She pushed him to turn against the Forresters and embrace her interpretation of the situation, but Carter stood strong. He was concentrated on mending walls, especially after the fallout from Hope's former conduct. Despite Hope's guard, Carter remained firm in his desire to do what was right. Hope claimed the Forresters were out to bring him down, and in a hopeless move, she made a shocking claim and informed Carter she'd no way answer to Steffi or Ridge again. It was a bold move and seems to have pushed Carter indeed further down. Carter, feeling torn, explained his shift in perspective. As a counsel, he'd always wanted to win, but now he realized that how you win signified just as important as the outgrowth. His guilt over his once conduct and his involvement in the company theft was importing heavily on him. He didn't want to be that man presently. Hope continued trying to move Carter that if Ridge returned, it had to be on their terms. But indeed, as Hope pulled Carter into her arms, the look on his face was telling. Did her unlawful speech work, or had she just pushed him too far?